Hello, 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 and welcome back to Life on the Flipside. We are here. We have Just Call Me Avi, which you'll hear from now in a second. But first of all, Stephen Reason, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing awesome. I'm just buzzing. I can't even tell you. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to today. I woke up today and I was in a really happy mood, obviously, because stuff. Well, before we bring Abby in, will we explain to people really quickly why you're so happy? Why we're so happy?
Because of the incredible success of the launch of the Pain of Progress channel. It has gone through the roof and still going, and I cannot be more chuffed. I am so over the moon.
More than 200 subscribers in less than 48 hours, folks.
That's right. I can't believe my eyes every time I look at it. I'm so excited. I've wanted to do something like this with the Pain of Progress for so long. It's a good feeling to finally have it standing on its own and doing as well as it's doing.
Yeah, and a big thank you to Conspiracy Cats for letting us use the Baldy Cats channel to launch it. That was pretty cool.
That was
I think it was right, being an educator himself. Like I think he really, really appreciated being involved in it.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yay, cats!
And we've been working on other things together as well. And to have him be the one to launch it, what an honor. I can't thank him enough.
Well, really quickly, we wanted to say hello to our guest who spot the goat last week. Just Call Me Avi. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. Yeah, a little shy.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
That's the worst thing you could say.
Yeah, forget the 33 people, and it's literally 33. Forget the 33 people in the chat. It's cool. We're good. Because you've been on another one. You were on Jessie's, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, and what were you talking to about her? I only caught a bit of it, but do you want to tell people what you were talking to her about?
Well, we were talking about. We were supposed to talk about sexuality, the LGBTQ community, but we went off on a bit of a tangent, and we ended up talking for a lot longer than what we were supposed to.
Yep, that happens. I love railroaded conversations because you never know where they're going to go. But you're really into technology, and you're really into advancements in technology. So you and Reason will get on very well. So don't worry about that. I'm really excited to have you on because you've been in the chats. You gave out to Reason a while ago. That was funny.
So what was that reason?
What was it?
What was the reason?
Because you were being mean to Flurfs.
Oh.
You were insulting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, okay. So what is it? What have you noticed around the community? Like what got you interested in the debunk community? What drew you in?
Well, I broke my back and became housebound for about 2 months. So I didn't really have much else to do, and so I was online. I was trying to find Welsh YouTubers, and I stumbled across Creaky by accident. And I watched the way I do it is when I go onto someone's channel, I always watch the first video that they ever make, and then I can usually figure out if I'm going to like him or not. And this first video, he literally just says, "We're going to talk about flat Earth," and it just giggles about it. And I thought, there's no way that's still a thing, because I remember a couple of years ago, we had a girl who worked for the company that I work for, and she was so convinced that the Earth was flat, and it was like, there's no way that's still around. There's no way that's still a thing. And then through him, I found out about Simon Dan, and then I found out about the Flat Earth Society, and I'm like, this has got to be a joke. There's no way people can believe this.
Oh yeah, they do. It's insane.
Well, I still say that 97% of them don't believe it. They're just
The
doing it for
creators.
attention.
Yeah, the
Yeah, they're just
creators
doing it for
definitely.
attention. So when they say, "Oh, the Earth is flat and we have proof," well, it's like, well, I'm still waiting for that proof. When you're going to get that proof out? Well, it looks flat, so it must be flat. Yeah, I know, but it can also look concave in some cases as well. But it doesn't mean that we're inside a giant ball.
Yeah.
Oh God, the hollow
Concave one.
earthers.
Yeah, the hollow earthers, I don't really understand. I really don't get them. I can understand the flat earthers. I can understand why they can conceive that the earth is flat. But I don't understand the concave. I'm trying to understand them. I'm actually researching them for a project at the moment, but I just can't seem to understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, it's really out there.
I don't get it. I really don't.
Well, that we live in a giant geode. That's what the
Yeah.
stars are.
Yeah.
Lots of geodes. It's just they're really far away, but they're big. But they're far away, but they're big. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Father Ted thing, isn't it? It's these cows are small. The cows out there are far away.
I love that bit. I just love it.
Well, what I love about having you in the chat is because you don't just accept things because they seem common sense. I don't like the word common sense. Common sense is a sucky word. It really is. If you say something often enough with enough people, it becomes common sense. You apply good sense, and you ask the questions that I have this idea, okay? If I have a question on something, then 3 other people around me is going to have the same question, but they're not going to have the confidence to ask. And so what I love about seeing you in the chats is that you're not afraid to ask for any clarity. You're not afraid to ask those questions that some people would be really hesitant to ask. That's why I think you're so valuable in the chats.
Yeah.
I don't particularly understand people, so this is the reason why I'm convinced. I think that a lot of these flat earthers are just fake. My view on them is they're attention seekers, they're narcissistic, they're arrogant, and they're also hiding behind a monitor. I mean, how many times has MC Toon had somebody duck out on him when he says right up to the point? What was it on May the 4th? He was supposed to have somebody, and he kept saying, "Oh, it doesn't open. It doesn't open," which I think is the same as this Streamlabs. It's just a link. Yeah. It doesn't open. It doesn't work, and that's just like you saying, "I don't want to actually do it because I have no evidence," because there isn't any evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is where the hashtag #FlirtsCan'tTech comes from. Now I've adapted that for some of us in the community that can't tech, but they refuse to click the link. Team Skeptic is in the chat. How many times have I watched Team Skeptic and he's invited someone on, and I can't get into vMix? It's a bloody link. You click the link, it takes you into the room. Like, it's not a big drama. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just about the easiest thing a human being could do. How hard is it to click a link?
Yeah, Fohammer actually makes the point. MC Toon uses Zoom. It's actually easier than Team stuff.
It is.
Like, seriously, I don't. And I think you're right. I think it's just that they don't want to talk. They're big in chat rooms and they're big with the keyboard warrior stuff. But when it comes to actually talking to someone, they can't do it. They can't actually man up.
Well, I've talked to one in a Discord, and the conversation ended with how do you explain the moon in Australia versus in Europe, because it appears upside down, and if the Earth was flat, you wouldn't be able to see it upside down. And his answer to me was, Australia doesn't exist. It's a fake country that was made up by governments. And then he cut the chat, and I literally was like face palming myself for about 2 hours, just like,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense, so it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Australia doesn't exist. It's a fake continent. Yeah, poor Demon, poor Bella Charge. Who else is in Australia? There's and even there's so many. Wolfie 6020 is Australian. Like
Yeah.
all
of the whole wolf pack.
The whole wolf pack, yeah. Huge Arse, who I actually started my channel with. We started on the same day, and apparently he's not real. He doesn't exist.
And what about Southern Hemisphere Globehead in South Africa?
Yeah, they don't. It's not convenient to me, so therefore it doesn't exist. That's basically what he's saying. Dark Steve is an Aussie. Fucking Mark Caesar. These are all figment of our imaginations, apparently.
Yeah.
Great.
I love them. If they're figments of my imagination, then I want to keep my imagination.
Absolutely. I think this whole Flirfs Can't Tech thing, they do it just so they can manufacture an excuse for ducking out.
I just think it's funny when there was a YouTuber a while ago. I think he went viral for saying that Australia wasn't real, and it was actually a comedy sketch. He was a comedian, and he was joking about Australia not being real, and he got so much hate. He was just like, dude.
Unbelievable.
I'm trying to find it now. But yeah, I think I first saw you in Creaky's. I think that's where I first saw you. Was in Creaky's chat.
Yeah.
Speaking of Creaky, he will be going live later on to discuss Kent Hovind. What is your thoughts on the Dr. Peel situation, Avi?
Yeah.
I don't like Matt all that much. He shadow banned me on his channel after about, 3 messages. He basically the first message, he was just sort of disagreeing with me. And then when I called him out saying, well, we can have a chat on Discord, he shadow banned me. So you can't see my messages on his channel. And then I think he unshadow banned me so that people could see the messages. And then he re-shadow bans me afterwards. It's he does that to a lot of people. It's one of the things that if you go to his channel, you'll find like loads and loads and loads of people praising him, but there's no negative comments whatsoever. And it's like, hang on a second, that doesn't make any sense. And then you realize that he's literally just shadow banned anyone who disagrees with him.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Oh,
the
he
hundreds
did that to
of
me.
people.
He did it to me too. He did it to me after one comment. When I said I went on to his mockumentary. I'm not even going to call it a documentary because it's not. And I said you can delete this too now. And he shadow banned me after that.
Yeah, I don't really understand Hoveen because of what they believe in is just ridiculous in comparison to a Flirf. It's ridiculous to say that, it's it fluctuates as well, doesn't it? Sometimes it's 5,000, sometimes it's 6,000, 10,000, 20,000 years. But then their own research group for 8 years concluded that the Earth had to be at least 500,000 years old. And then they just said, oh, no, we didn't come to that conclusion. It's just, it is definitely just 6,000 years. Well, no, your research says differently.
Tuss says, I feel dizzy. All the people... all the blood is rushing to my head. Oh. They're upside down. Well, Tusk isn't. But I do like that. I can't do shit like that because Crafty can't tech. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Taddy says, you're pronouncing his first name incorrectly. You're missing the inflection. It's pronounced Cunthovind. Yes. Ah. Yep.
Nice. There you go.
Oh, we have Trans Girl. Hi, Trans Girl. Trans Girl was in the Four Swordsmen last night or yesterday. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it yesterday? Last night? I don't know. Yesterday. Just say yesterday. It makes it easier for time zones.
Yeah, and she's a recent subscriber to Pain of Progress as well.
Whoop, whoop.
So welcome, trans girl.
But yeah, I do have to laugh. Uh, the whole Dr. Peel thing. So for anyone who hasn't seen the Dr. Peel thing, it started out with Simon Dan saying, listening to Kent Hovind say that you need to make a lie big enough and simple enough, but you have to make it big. And so that's where the Dr. Peel thing came from. It's just fucking exploded ever since.
Yeah.
I made a video. I didn't upload it. I sent it to Dan himself. But I didn't really want to jump on the bandwagon, so I didn't actually release it. I can, but I just don't.
I did. I thought, what the heck? I put it out there. It's got 168 views.
Good fun. It's good fun. And it's, do you know what? With all the hostility that's been around the community for a while, it is just good to have a little bit of a laugh. I think we've earned that.
If you can't have a laugh, then there's no point in even bothering.
Exactly. So we're not gonna try and dox you around, but like, where is it you live? What is it you're interested in, Avi? What is your passion?
I just want to say something right now. I grew up in an environment where you really only speak when you're spoken to. That's the reason why I'm not saying anything. Just if anyone is in the chat wondering why I'm being so quiet, that's the reason why I'm being quiet.
That's okay.
No worries.
I live in North Wales, towards the English border. Yeah, so there's no accent here, literally none. I kid you not. You would not, if you had crossed over the border, you wouldn't even know you were out of England until you got about halfway through Wales. And then you'll notice people who've got the accent, because that's literally how it goes. There's one or two people in my hometown who do speak Welsh fluently and refuse to speak to you in any other language, and then you just basically call them annoying or irritating because they do speak English, they just don't want to.
Well, you see, I lived in the Gaeltacht area for 7 years, so there are people in the Gaeltacht in Ireland who, because they're trying to protect the language, they don't want it to go extinct. They will only speak Irish. They can speak English because I lived there for 7 years. When we're sitting around the coffee table, it's English. But out in public, as soon as they cross the door at all, everything is Oscailge. Everything is Irish. They will not back down to that at all.
You know, some of them, some Welsh people do speak fluent English, but obviously because they have the accent. They also, I don't know if anyone's noticed, Creaky does this sometimes. He doesn't say yes or yeah. He says yawn, which means yes.
Yawn, yeah.
In Welsh. All my friends who are Welsh will say that as a yawn, but when they're texting, they just say yes. It autocorrects to yes. It's not yeah or okay. It's just yes, usually with a capital.
See, so. Barman is desperate to explain that, well, his wife speaks Welsh, but he lives in Wales as well. He lives in Herefordshire. So he's desperate for people to know that. Why he'll actually actively promote that, I don't know. Why he's proud of that, I don't know. No, I'm joking. I'm not that bad, I promise. I don't mind Welsh people. I just like slagging Barman off. It's a thing.
Yeah. Well, it's fun, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so confused.
See what's going on.
Yeah, so it says Gaelic is only for the Viking raids. We told you this. Yeah, I can speak a little bit of Irish. I can speak a decent bit of Irish. But it wouldn't be something that I would do in everyday conversation anymore. When I was down in the Gaeltacht, you have to, like, by law, we have to speak Irish down the Gaeltacht. Okay. We have a request. We have a request. Avi, can you say that word?
It's not a word, it's a place, and it's actually not too far away from where I live. And no, I'm not saying it because my plans and size are all over the place because I have a bad lisp. But yeah, it's actually a train station, which is not too far away from where I live. And the sign, I kid you not, the sign is so big that it juts out into the road. I'm
No
not
way.
joking. Literally, it juts out into the road. So the bog standard sign is supposed to stick into the tree branches, but because people couldn't read it, they made it so that it jutted out into the road. So cars and vans actually have to steer slightly to the right to avoid it because it sticks out into the road.
Oh,
And their
that's
solution to
hilarious.
the problem is to bend the sign like a banana so that it doesn't stick out into the road. But then you can't read it properly until you go past it.
Yeah. Tina Jones is 5 miles from Yan Fair.
Oh no, people who
Lolca-
live nearby.
Yeah, Lolcow University says, I thought it was a village for some reason.
It is. There is a village, but it's a train station primarily. So
That's
obviously,
hilarious.
train stations have villages.
And don't they have someone who is dedicated just to say that word over and over again to tourists?
No, I mean all Welsh people can say it, but the thing is with it as well is it's not one word. I think it's 4 or 5 words stuck together. But like I said, because they didn't want to make the signs too long, they just took out the dashes so they're not too long.
Yeah.
The way that they're often written is that they're written kind of like poetically, so that you can say you roll into each next word, so it sounds like one word, but it isn't. There are multiple words stacked up on top of each other.
We have another request.
Yeah,
I'm not even saying that either.
I'm not going to say that. No, I can't. I don't speak Welsh. I've lived in Wales all my life. I don't speak Welsh. My best friends speak Welsh fluently. I can't speak Welsh. My best friends are Welsh through and through. I was born in England. I lived in England for 6 months as a baby. And I think it was after our second television got stolen, my mother decided, I'm going to move to Wales. And that was it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, technically speaking, I am English, but I've lived in Wales all my life. And I still can't speak Welsh. No.
Yeah, a lot of Irish people can't speak Irish, even though you go through 15 years of actually learning it. No, we're not going there. We're not going there. Fuck off. Gerald and Weber, compound words. We Dutch and the Germans are good at those. And just to say, right? So Gerald, I have a thing to say about Gerald's picture. This picture is of his cat, obviously. I swear he's not a cat. But this looks like my cat that I had, the first cat I had, who was called Casper. And he passed away on the farm. I actually brought him down to the farm with me. And he was my best friend for 15 years. So I just wanted to notice that. I love the picture of that cat because it reminds me of him. So, yay, that cat. Yeah, he's not a cat. I swear to you, Judge, he's not a cat. Oh, Robert is actually 12 cats in a sack. None of us has noticed. Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Crazy.
What is the most commonly asked question, other than Welsh names of towns and stuff being thrown at you? What's when you tell people you're from Wales? What's the most commonly asked question that you get?
What are Welsh cakes? I don't like Welsh. I hate Welsh cakes. I hate that. Honestly, it's like someone took a scone and then they put a book on top of it, and then they sat on top of the book and squished it. But they're made with a high salt content, so they've got lots of salt in them. They're awful. I don't care where they're from. I think they're awful. They're disgusting things. I'd honestly rather lick the side of a limestone or something like that than eat one of them. They're awful things because they're full of salt. They're so salty. It's like wow.
So what you're saying? So what you're saying is you don't really like them.
No, I hate them. They're awful. Some Welsh foods I do like, but most of them I don't like because of they're really savoury in some cases. So some things I do like, some things I don't like. Like
so what's your favourite?
What Welsh treat?
Yes.
I don't have one.
What's your favorite thing in Wales? Like, what's your favorite thing to eat? That's Welsh. That would be considered Welsh, because for the Irish, my favorite Irish thing to eat would be the Irish coddle. So the Irish coddle is basically a stew, but instead of putting beef pieces in it, you would put rashers and sausages, which is bacon and sausages and onions and potatoes. Loads of potatoes. It has to have potatoes. So the coddle, especially the way my nanny used to cook it, a proper Irish coddle is probably my favorite meal, and probably would be my last meal if I got a choice. Would be the Irish coddle.
I'm trying to
But
think.
I thought you don't like bacon.
I don't like bacon. But because it's in a stew, because it's in most bacon is cooked to a way that all of the water, all of the moisture is taken out of it. When it's in the coddle, all the salt that's in it disperses around the water, so it's not as salty. It's not salty anymore. It's just like tender meat. So I don't mind it in a coddle, but I can't eat it any other way.
Interesting.
People are saying lamb.
Oh, come on. You can find sheps everywhere these days. It's not exactly hard to find. I don't like lamb.
Really?
I don't like it. I honestly don't. It's greasy and bleh.
It's tangy as well. I find it's a lot more tangy than any other meat. Venison I love.
Venison is great.
Venison is
sure
really.
That's
But it has to be butchered properly.
expensive. It's like
It
you know, I'll have pheasant today. I think lovely stuff. Where the hell did you get pheasant from? Did you poach them? There's actually a guy up the road who's got like a field full of pheasants.
Oh, I'll give you a laugh, right? So where I used to live, it was an island, and back about fucking 60 years or so, people came onto the island and released a whole load of pheasants for shooting, for some fucking reason, because we don't do really blood sports much in Ireland, except for greyhound racing, and that is just vile. That is vile. But we don't really do the blood sports. We don't really have that tradition. It was always seen as a British tradition, and because the Irish didn't want to be like the British, it was seen as just not cool. And it's actually banned in Ireland. There's been a few people trying to get it unbanned, but it's not going to happen. Now, these things still happen. So a while ago, they brought pheasants onto the island and tried to shoot them all and whatever. They didn't get them all. And so every so often, it was believed that there was this phantom pheasant. Now, there was definitely a pheasant that people would see, but there was at least two pheasants, because while I was there was one cooing at the east of me and another cooing at the west of me. I was like, proof there's more than one fucking pheasant. And I sent it to a friend of mine, because the person that I was looking after was convinced that there was only one pheasant left on the island. And I was like, how the fuck is that one pheasant going to live for over 60 years? There has to be more. And I was saying it to one of the neighbors, and they were like, yeah, there's like fucking countless pheasants. We can't get rid of them. But I just loved the idea of a phantom pheasant running around the island.
Oh, maybe it'll become a myth for the future videos of Irish.
That'd be fun.
The phantom pheasant.
It is a good story. If I can get a good story out of it, the phantom pheasant.
I was going to say something rude, but I better not do it.
No. It screams when someone's ready to die. No, I'm joking. That would actually that sounds like an Irish tale. Everything screams at you when you're ready to die.
Oh, that's nice. I was going to say that it just sounds like the Irish are incompetent because they couldn't take care of a couple of birds. I mean, no offense, but pheasants are thick as bird shit. They're dumber than chickens. They're the most stupid creatures in the world. I can bag 15 pheasants in a night through dubious methods, and it isn't hard. All you got to do is put a hole in the ground, stick a piece of paper in it, put some bird seed in it, put a bit of glue around the edge, and that's it. The pheasant comes down, it sticks its head in the cone, it gets stuck to its head, and it just sits there like a lemon because it thinks it's night.
It's like the Beast of Craggy Island, just with a bird. Yes. If any, yeah.
It's like a 1930s cartoon when you see that guy chasing a bird around.
Yeah.
They're like the ostriches of Ireland. Stick their head in the sand and they think it's night. Nobody can see them because of...
Yeah, well, here's the thing, because where I lived, it was a central hub for bird watching. We had one of the oldest bird watching observatories, and one of the only ones in Ireland as well, because the rest of them were shut down during the pandemic. Not the pandemic, the recession. They weren't able to keep going. But I remember this. I think it was about 2-3 years ago now. There was absolute mayhem on the island, right? The bus driver, yes, we had a little bus. We had a minibus we had a 7-seater bus. Because the hills on this island were so fucking big, it was ridiculous. But we had a bus driver, and she was an avid photographer, and she was an avid bird watching enthusiast. And while she was going along the road, she found this little bird in the middle of the road. So she stopped because she wanted to get a picture of it. And then she noticed that it wasn't flying. It wasn't really like it was moving, it was hopping around, but it wasn't actually flying. And when she got up close to it, even with that, the bird wouldn't fly off. So she picked it up and she kind of put it in one of the bushes nearby, just so it could be safe, because people, even on that island with the twisty roads, people drove like fucking maniacs. So she put it out, and she got a few snapshots of it and sent it to the bird observatory. And they were like, holy shit. The bird itself, I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was from Canada. It was a native of Canada. Now, it's no bigger than your fist, but it was a native of Canada. It had never made it. One of these birds had not made it to Europe in about 70 odd years or 50 years or something. It was ridiculous. If ever, I can't remember. Because there was 2 that weekend, everyone went absolutely nuts over it. So they put it up on their Facebook, and all of a sudden, this is usually the bird watching season was around September, October. All of a sudden, in the middle of May, June, or whatever, obviously it was blown off course when it was going south for the winter, and it just ended up in Ireland. And we're the first place you hit when you're trying to find Florida. So yeah, hurricane assisted migration, that's pretty much what it's called. So it ended up on our shores. It was there for a couple of days, but while it was there, right, I spoke to a guy that was looking for this fucking bird, because the bird went missing. Everyone was hunting for the bird to take pictures of it. Like the island was infested with bird watchers, like. And those guys are dedicated. This one guy left Belfast at like 6 o'clock. No, yeah, 6 o'clock in the evening, so he could get on the first ferry to come over to the island. He drove all night to get down to the fucking island just to see this bloody bird. That's dedication.
Serious about his hobbies, I guess.
Yeah, and what was funny was they didn't find it. Right? So he had driven all through the night to see this fucking bird, and they couldn't find it. And then he gets back onto the ferry really disappointed. And just as the ferry was leaving, the bird showed up in a garden right by the pier. So they had to turn the boat around, bring everybody back, so that they could spend like 4 minutes getting pictures. Canadian goose is when someone pinches your butt and immediately says sorry. What?
Funny. That's funny.
But I swear the dedication, and what was funny was that weekend I was going, because I was on the boat when they turned it around. I was actually going to a show that my niece and nephew were doing in Cork. They were in a competition. They're legacies. They are legacies. One of the ways their mother and father met was through a variety group that I used to be in, where we would do shows all over Ireland. And so they are actually legacies of that group. We were some of the original members, myself and their dad. And so I went in, it was down in Trebolgan, and it's like a play, it's like Pontins, an Irish version of Pontins. And so we went in and went in to see the birds of prey, and your one who ran the birds of prey wasn't there because she was down on my fucking island looking for the damn bird. And thank you, Copper Wasp, for becoming a member. Yay! That's awesome. But I just thought that was funny. I thought it was funny. I just left that island getting away from the bloody bird, and she had just gone down. So, yeah, fun times. So you don't like lamb, you don't like pheasant. What is it that you do like?
No, I do like pheasant. It's just that, pheasant is a posh bird. And unless you get it through dubious means, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Do you know what else is expensive? Because Tusk keeps talking about how he cooks lobster and shit. Lobster is fucking mad expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. I've never had lobster. I've had crab. I've never had lobster.
It's because it goes bad very quickly. Within 9 hours, if it's dead, it will go bad, and you have to get rid of it.
Is that because why?
The ammonia in the actual lobster can kill you. It can give you really bad stomach aches. It can all sorts of terrible things. This is the reason why, like fish restaurants are on the coast, and they usually keep their lobsters in a tank in the back or in the front. But the ones in the front, they're not for eating. So you say, I want that one. It'd be like, no, that one isn't for eating. They actually keep them in the back. They usually keep them in a bucket in the fridge so that they're asleep. I know a lot of people do say that, you shouldn't cook them while they're still alive because they scream. They don't scream. That's just gases escaping from the shell. But I am a chef, so I've done the training. The typical way of doing it is to get what we call a filleting knife or what we call a flat blade knife and pop it on the top of where their head is and just down and forward, and it kills them instantly. They don't feel any pain. So I don't mind lobster. I don't mind eating it. I think lobster is a lot better than crab because it doesn't taste like fish.
Yes.
It doesn't taste like fish.
Tusk is a chef as well, so that's why I brought it up. He always talks about how he prepares lobster.
Oh, well, it explains his attitude then.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a pretentious fuck. No, I'm joking.
No, that's fine. All chefs are. I'm a dessert passiers chef, so if he's probably main chef. So I work in a quiet area of the kitchen, which is usually quite cold, and there's nobody there.
Lobsters apparently are sea roaches.
Yeah, the crustaceans, the insects.
Ew.
No, seriously. So are prawns. They're insects too.
Well, if you're ever in Canada and you happen to be on the East Coast and you're particularly Newfoundland or Nova Scotia, something you really got to try, and especially if you're a fan of clam chowder or crab chowder, is called cod tongue stew. It is awesome.
Yes, it sounds so appetizing.
Really, it is so delicious. A nice, thick, creamy broth with the potatoes and the vegetables, and then the tongues from cod. It's awesome. You got to try it if you're ever in Canada.
Wow. That sounds...
The tongues from cod. Oh, my God. Yeah, Tusk says I'm a main chef, not some fancy pudding one.
Hey. Yeah, well, you try coming in at 4:30 in the morning to make all the bloody buns. Yeah?
Yeah, biatch.
At least I don't have to be there during service. You do, and you have to deal with the naughty, ranchy customers who come to the saying, come into the bloody room and say, "This wasn't cooked the way I wanted it to be." I don't give a fuck. No, seriously, that's how it is. You bring it in. The chef looks at it. He opens it up. He goes, "That is cooked perfectly." He says it isn't good enough. No, okay then. Well, there's nothing we can do about that. Oops, I dropped the steak on the floor. Oh dear. Oh, it's all right. It's going on the grill.
Apparently, I like potatoes. I eat them fresh from the fields. Yeah. What else are you going to do with the fucking potatoes? What you do is you pick them, you wash them, and then you cook them. That's kind of the deal, Fohammer. And that's kind of how potatoes work.
I think he means that you literally pull them out of the ground and start munching them on the way to work.
Do you know what? No, but you know what? It's a weird thing. I have a weird sense of taste. Hello, Round Thinker. Good to have you. I have a really weird taste. So every so often when I'm making chips, and yes, they're called chips, Fohammer. They're called chips, not fries. They're chips. I do have one. I do eat like one of the chips because I make them. I can't eat frozen chips because they're mank. But yeah, I do have some potato before it actually goes into the chip fry. So it happens. I do eat raw potato.
Ew. That's gross. So do you eat the skins as well? We're waiting for the chips to cook.
No, I don't eat the skin. Fuck's sake, I'm not that bad. I'm not that fucking rabid. Just a little bit. I don't eat the skins. No. The only time I eat the skins is the new potatoes. You know, the white potatoes, the curds, and they're supposed to be eaten because they're nice.
Unless you get them from a tin.
Who gets potatoes from a tin?
You can get potatoes in a tin. You can get new potatoes in a tin. You can also get a whole cooked chicken in a tin.
What's wrong with people?
It's funny.
In a tin.
There's a guy who actually opened one up, didn't he? And he poured it out onto a plate and he ate it. And it was cooked. It was just, it turned pink because it had the bones in it as well.
Well,
oh, it's so funny. You guys are just like, well, you can get like a hamburger in a can as well, can't you? With the bun and everything. What do they call it? Camping burger.
That. Yeah, I can understand that. But potatoes in a tin is just odd to me.
Why?
I mean, it takes laziness to a new extreme.
Yeah, but they're already cooked, so you can eat them straight out of a tin if you want.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know.
You'd be surprised what you can find in tins.
It just seems so odd. Why would you do it? I don't know. People are strange.
I don't know. What else could you buy in tins? Oh, yeah, you can buy bread in tins as well, can't you?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
They have them in Japan. What was it? The banana flavored bread, and some person opened it, and he broke it open, and it was just full of mold.
Oh God.
Tusk for £3, sorry, says blah blah blah. What about Franklin? We want Frank. Frank doesn't exist. Fuck off.
Who is Frank? What is that? Who is Frank? What is a joke?
Right. Oh. So the story of Franklin. Tusk gave me my first super chat ever, which was last week. And he sent me a message saying, because I've sent you your first super chat, I believe I have the right to name one of your eyebrows. So I'm naming it Franklin. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. I reject your premise that you get to name one of my eyebrows.
So is the other eyebrow called Francine then?
There's no Franklin.
Franklin and Francine.
Daddy
and then could have a unibrow in the center.
And yeah, I mean, look, I don't name my eyebrows. Thank you very much for the consideration of my eyebrows, but no, that's not going to happen.
No, critical cripple, Francine. Yeah, there you go. See, Jessica
wants to name it Benjamin, I think.
Oh, Benjamin.
But no, they're not being
that
named.
would be good. That way, then they can't get it on between the two, and you end up with a unibaby.
Oh
Oh
no.
my god, I didn't even think about that. Oh, fuck my life. No, people, no. Stop being weird.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
jeez.
Jessica G for $2 says hashtag Franklin's feelings. Franklin doesn't exist, and even if Franklin did exist, it's an inanimate object, so it doesn't have a fucking feelings. Fuck
But
off.
it can express those feelings because it can be both high and lowbrow.
Chris Durden, stop censoring Francine.
I hang on. Jess, no. I did not admit to anything yesterday. Shut the fuck up. I did not. You can't prove it. I did not admit to anything. Brady Photography asks when is my face reveal. Here's the thing, Brady. It's not going to happen because I don't believe that I should have to, because my voice should speak for itself. I don't really want to dox myself, so yeah, that's not going to happen. Rob Parks for £5 says, $5 says, I hereby name. No, I'm not even going to read
I hear
that.
my
No.
name. The left
No.
eyebrow bend.
This is gonna keep going down the face, isn't it? You're gonna have your eyelashes named, and then you're gonna have any kind of little specks on your nose named, and if you have a little bit of a mustache there, they'll start naming that, and then they'll work down to wherever hair is found.
See, Christian has it right. Crafty doesn't have a face. It's non-existent.
How can you talk?
Shh, don't question it.
This sounds like a big conspiracy to me.
It's
Maybe
a
we
lucky
should
thing.
debate.
It's a lucky thing we're not naming her Freckles. It would be like, this is my freckled Doug, and my other freckled Doug, and my other freckled Doug.
Senior.
Tuss says £100 to name her goatee beard. I don't have a goatee beard. I wish I had a goatee beard. Just because it has to do with goats. But no, I don't care how much fucking money you have, and don't do it, please, guys, please don't do it. Do not do it. Do not listen to Tusk, because it's not going to fucking happen. So don't waste your money. Oh God. How are we going to know if Franklin is okay if we don't get a picture of Franklin? Because Franklin is in your imagination. It's a figment of your imagination. So
Or
you
an
can
easy
just
way to
imagine
fix
him
it,
say,
shave it off. Shave Franklin. Shave Franklin and shave Ben, but because you don't show your face, just play the sound of some cutters or something. Maybe they'll believe you.
get the fucking Professor says name Crafty's belly button for £10. Hashtag Keela killed Franklin with tweezers. See, this is called railroading right now, and this is what often happens.
This is
on this
getting
show.
funny. This is getting funny.
Well, you have 5 minutes, people. You have 5 minutes. Do not. Right. So, Avi, you messaged me there saying that who was it? Alien X Gaming spot the goat before you did. And although he says he spot the goat 40 minutes beforehand, the rules of the game, guys, with the spot the goat competition before we start it, you have to wait until you hear the bleat. If you try to answer and say where the goat is before the bleat, it doesn't count. So you have to wait for the bleat. So half past is when the bleat happens, and then you can look for the goat. If you've already found it, then awesome. But it doesn't. The game doesn't start until you hear the bleat. So I just wanted to make that very clear.
Oh dear.
For £2, Teddy Bogle says, quick poll for Franklin 1. 1 equals save, 2 equals shave. lads, I'm not shaving my eyebrows. You can fuck off.
Oh no. Now see, now you're gonna have a divide. Because you're gonna have people who want you to shave your eyebrows, and you want people like Tusk who want you to sort of continue the meme on. Oh.
Oh no. I think
They're
we've
all crazy.
created a monster, and we've named it Franklin. It's alive.
I didn't fucking.
It's alive.
I didn't name it Franklin. It was fucking Tusk. Spot the not so subtle change of subject.
Oh no,
Oh,
not both.
no.
Just one. Ben can be kept. You can keep Ben. Nobody likes Ben.
What is this conversation? What is it? What is happening?
Well, you started it.
I didn't. The chat did, and I blame Jessica, and I blame Tusk. These are all assholes. And you
Oh, dear.
asked to hear the story.
Well, yeah, because it was an inside joke. I didn't get it at first, and I get it now, so I
okay.
make fun of you.
But Crafty, you have an ally in the chat. Sick Eddie on him.
What?
Eddie.
Eddie?
Yeah, she's in the chat.
Oh, Etty. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
She is your ally?
Etty is always my ally, and me and Etty have a plan, Tusk. We have a plan. So shh. There will be yeah. Who's Eddie? My cat? No, Etty. Etty is a very, very, very good friend of mine, and Tusk's partner. So we're gonna have fun fucking with Tusk.
Please forgive my Canadian accent, eh?
That's the funny thing. Neither of you have lost anything of your accents. Whatever accent you have. I have. My accent has diverged in 3 ways because sometimes I sound a lot more Cork, especially when I'm talking to Demon. And other times I sound more Kildare because that's where I went to university. And I just pick up accents very, very quickly and kind of incorporate them without even realizing it. And I used to have to call my mom every now and then. And we'd be talking on the phone and she'd be like, "Why are you talking like that?" Because I was down in Cork. "Why are you talking like that?" "What do you mean?" "Like, you're a Dubliner. You're a Dubliner. Speak Dublin. Don't be speaking Cork to me. Don't be speaking Cork to me." And I'm like, what?
Well, at least you have an accent.
The plot hole is in there.
Plot hole.
Stress, Crafty Tequila. Hello, plot hole.
Johnny, best of luck today with your interview. I have a big fucking thing next Saturday that you're gonna want to have a look at. I can't say any more than that, but midnight for me next Saturday. Keep an eye out because that's gonna be boom. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be boom.
Boom. Look at this. Boom. Look at this. Boom.
Yeah.
I started my live stream. Boom.
Boom.
That should be it.
It's yeah. Next week, guys. Next week, I have a live stream, and it's drawing the whole thing for me. The bullshit of the last 2 weeks, it's drawing it to an absolute close. I don't want to hear about it after that. I don't want to fucking talk about it after that. And I definitely do not want my name being brought up after that. So make sure that you're around next Saturday because you're not going to want to miss it. So guys, we've basically reached the time.
Just about.
Yeah. Fuck off, Clive. Fuck off. And thank you to Rob Parks who just became a member. Thank you so much. Where is it? Whoops, wrong one. Trina's going down and going boom boom. Yes, it's all going boom. I heard the goat that time, but I didn't.
You did.
I didn't hear it properly, but yeah. So people, spot the goat is now in effect. Spot the goat, folks. But yeah, I mean, look, having you in the chat, even the last couple of weeks, and you, as I said, you're willing to ask the questions that a lot of people are afraid to ask. And fair play to you for doing that. You're also able to ask questions that other people wouldn't even imagine asking. So from me anyway, having you in a chat is so valuable, and I really want to thank you for coming on today.
Aye. Ask. I haven't asked any questions.
You can ask questions. You can definitely. Well, you have asked questions in the chat, and you've made statements in the chat that just cut through all the bullshit. And not today, but in recent, like I've watched you in other live streams, and you know it's going to be a decent conversation when you're in the chat. Do you know?
Yes, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, a decent conversation is in. You know, I don't use the I don't F and blind in every other word.
I do.
I know.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, both of you do. That's why I was like, do I really want to get into a conversation with these two? Will it be civil? No, most definitely not. But do it anyway.
Well, I mean, look, right, the effing and blinding, I have no control over. I've gotten better over the years, but I actually have no control over it. Because I've been calling people bastards and bitches since I was fucking 3. So it's just, and it's not, for me, I don't mean any malice in it. It's more of, you know, when people say like all the time, that's the way I use fuck.
Or a certain other YouTuber who's Irish who just says literally. Yes. Literally. You literally just said that.
I hate the word literally. My nephew never stops using the word literally, and it drives me fucking crazy. Now, he's 12. Demon is a bit older than that, just a bit. His brain isn't. His brain isn't, but no, I'm joking. I love Demon. But he uses it so much. And I'm sitting there like, I'm gonna kill someone. I'm gonna kill someone. But it's one of those isms. It's one of those mannerisms that you just fucking hell. I found the cow. It's on the left.
I think we might have a winner.
Oh.
Mannerisms.
Yes, I think we do. Damn it. Please don't tell me it's her. We'll never get away.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Fountain. The goat is in the circle near the roof. No, it's not. Have we got a winner? Other than Jess?
I think we do.
Can it not be Jess?
Jessica G.
Because I know when Jessica G comes on.
Well.
Oh.
Well, Steve B says he has more chance of seeing the eyebrow than finding the goat.
Oof.
I think we're going to have to give it to Jess.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
The goat is disguised as a friend.
That's right. And for those of you who are wondering, right there.
Oh, I'll definitely tune in for that.
Jessica is just going to talk about fucking... Well, actually, it's probably better that we have Jessica on because of what's going to happen on Saturday. Crafty's going to rip out his kidney. Hey! Whose kidney am I ripping out? What the hell do people think I do all day? I don't rip out kidneys. What the fuck?
All right.
Says, that's not a cow. That's a bull.
So that's it. We got a winner. Congratulations, Jessica G.
Tusk for 2 euros says, does it literally drive you mad? I mean, literally. Fuck off, Tusk. No, don't.
Literally. Or how no. Tony says it. Tony says it is literally.
Like, yeah. Well, Tony doesn't like literature. Yeah.
But Tony doesn't speak all that much either. It's mostly get it out, man.
Say the whole sentence. Think about the sentence, and then say it, and we're good.
Yeah, don't get him talking about circles either, because he just denies their existence flat out. One feels bad for his car. Probably got square tires.
I'd say so. But yeah, look, the fucking what's funny was all of a sudden he had that outburst on the Beardsman, which will be after this actually. He had the outburst on the Beardsman where he screamed basically bloody murder about how the Lord of the Rings is shit.
Oh yeah, you went off the rails on that one.
Yeah, I
It
know,
was
but
fucking hysterical.
the Lord of the Rings isn't exactly the easiest book to read. It's like reading stereo instructions in German. It jumps all over the place. It's like, please refer to chapter 1 for chapter 12.
Yeah.
Why? Because there was information there that will make this, make sense.
Yes, because
Well, you didn't think I read the first chapter?
Because linear progression is not helpful. Like, but what I love is there's a thing now going, where I just decided to walk in Jessica G's footprints for a second, and I changed that. So I have 2 accounts on YouTube. I have this one, and I have another Crafty Keela, and that's so that I can test things. So if I set up a private or an unlisted thing to test out things, that I can actually see how they're coming up on the screen properly. So I changed that one to Tony Hates Literature. Let me see the hashtags Tony Hates Literature in the chat, because it's a thing. And he said he came out with, I don't hate literature, I just hate the literature that I've read.
Yeah, I was there that's when he was like, after he had this rant about circles for like, 25 minutes with with Team. It was with Team, and it was like, I'm just going to turn down the volume on that and watch Irish. Oh wait, no, he hasn't made the transition yet. Late for his own live stream.
Oh, I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. Avi at 1.5 speed sounds like FTFE.
Oh jeez.
I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or not.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm FTFE, and I'm the most boring person in the world because I'm not going to give you a chance to speak to me properly.
Oh,
I'm just gonna laugh. What kind of laugh is that, Craig?
So
are you happy about it or not? He ran away.
I take it you like FTFE then?
I don't mind him, but the problem I have with him is that if you watch his first streams, he was taking it so seriously, and now it's just sort of he's degraded. His chin size has gone down as well, which is nice. But he's sort of degraded into this sort of always sort of sniggering in the back. It kind of sounds like Muttley. You're funny. Why invite them on? Why bother? Have you actually got any evidence? I'm just about to present it. Well, present it then.
Fallhammer says, Abby, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, no kidding.
And to be honest with you, that's kind of why I respected what happened with Aaron Raw and on Modern Day Debates. Aaron Raw has this thing: I won't debate anyone if they don't have a model, and if they don't have a structure that I can actually pick apart, because there's no point. If you're just saying, oh well, I don't believe that, but I believe this, and I don't believe this, but I believe that, and so he won't even entertain the debates. And so what happened was Thompson said, yeah, I have both. I have a model that I'm willing to stick to, and I have a belief or whatever it was, a map or whatever. And as soon as he got on to Modern Day Debates, he was like 5 minutes into the discussion, and it's obvious that he's not sticking to what he said. And Aaron Raw was like, well, a model and a map. Thank you. A model and a map, says Critical Cripple. And instead of entertaining him and saying, well, I'm here now, I might as well debate this douchebag, he was like, no, I'm sticking to my guns. The deal was, you have a map and you have a model. You don't have either. Therefore, I'm done. And he left. He just fucking left. Fair play to sticking to your guns. And my God, Jessica. Yeah. Fuck my life. Jessica G, under the guise of Keela Hates Franklin, for $2 says facts.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
I was just thinking about FTFE. you guys seen that video where, what was it, Simon Dan catfished another flurf? Was it him or was it someone else?
It was Dan.
I've catfished Craig before on Fight the Flat Earth. I posed as a flat earther and he bit it so bad. He was desperate.
I mean,
but it was
part of it. Yeah, go on.
The thing is with him as well is that he's just as desperate to have these people on, because I think he's actually starting to run out, which is bad. But I mean, when your whole channel is literally called Fight the Flat Earth, and Flat Earth has literally just disappeared into a black hole, what's he going to do?
Well, it's disappeared, but from YouTube-ish, but it's still on the likes of Facebook, Discord, and other lesser-known platforms. So they're still sticking around, and I get why Craig does it. He wants to be able to really. I think part of it is he does want to reach somebody, but the other part of it is he wants to show how ridiculous and bullshit these arguments are. So that's why he finds it so funny now. He just rips the piss. And anyone, I don't mean to be bad, right, Avi? I don't mean to be bad. Anyone that goes on his show that doesn't know what's coming, then they haven't done their fucking research, which they're always screaming at us to do. And they fucking deserve it because they haven't done their research. They know what's coming. And they still go on. It's like the fucking talent shows. If you go on to the X Factor and you don't expect to be insulted by Simon Cowell, then you're a fucking moron, because that's literally what the show is. And I use literally in the right fucking place there. That is what the show is known for, is him insulting people trying to sing. That is just what the show is. Him slagging off people.
Well, it's television though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not
a good or bad thing. I don't watch it myself, but that's what the show is about. If you think that you're going to go on to the X Factor when you can't sing and expect to be praised, then you're a fucking muppet. And you deserve it.
They think they can sing. That's the thing. It's the same with the Fluffs. They think they know. They think they know.
Yeah.
But we know that they don't.
Yeah, but you know, going onto a show like that, there is a possibility that you are going to get slated. And so when it actually happens, you can't be surprised. And it's the same with the Flirts going on to Team Skeptic or going on to Craig's FTFE. If you haven't seen how they treat people, if you haven't seen, like, and I'll give it to Craig, for the most part, at the start, he's willing to give them a chance. He's willing to give them a platform. He's willing to let them say what they want to say. And it's when they start being fucking ridiculous, like really ridiculous, that's when he starts in on the dumpster fires. That's when he starts in slagging them off, because they haven't come there with intellectual honesty. And so he can understand his frustration and be like, okay, well, you're just another dickhead that I've had on. I'm just going to have fun with this now and like whatever. And some people like it. Some people like it, and that's fine. I got tired of it. So I moved on. It's the same reason. It's the same reason I don't watch the Karen videos. I don't watch the First Amendment auditor videos, because laughing at Karens, it just got boring for me.
Yeah.
And we have Nate the lawyer. Hi. For $2, just showing some love, enjoying with my coffee. Good to see you, Nate. Thank you for dropping by.
Yeah. The thing with Fight is, he's all about the dumpster fire. There are people who want the dumpster fire, and Craig knows it, and he gives it to him. And that's all he's doing.
Yeah, but the thing is with Craig is from what I see, Craig is more relaxed. But the thing is I wouldn't mind getting into a conversation with Craig, because he seems like genuinely a nice person. He's happy and fun, all that stuff. The person who frightens me on YouTube is either JL Warren, who is terrifying.
Love JL.
Yeah, he's great, but I would not get into a conversation. I'd be like halfway down the road by the time he walked into the room. And Team Skeptic. Team Skeptic scares me when it comes to things like Fight the Flat Earth, because he does not back down at all.
Well, what's amazing about Team, and Team, people know I love Team. He has so much experience and so much knowledge that the way in which his mind works, he is able to adapt to anything. So he could be sitting there, and he has done. Poor Fohammer, was brought on to debate a Flurf, and the Flurf didn't show. And so team was like, okay, well, I'm going to be the Flurf, and you're going to debate me.
Ouch.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
exactly
no.
what you think happened actually happened. Poor Fohammer. Poor Fohammer got his ass handed to him.
Fohammer's just sort of like, I took on JL, he isn't terrifying, team is the same. Yeah, but that's because you can hold your own against someone like that. I would not get into a conversation with either of them two. Can you imagine both of them at the same time? And then there's a be at the bottom like that, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna pop to the shop. I won't be a second. Goodbye.
Yeah.
But you know what? One of the best things I think about this community as a whole is the willingness to share information. And so if you were to get into a conversation with one of them, it wouldn't be like them talking to a Flurf. It would be them wanting to help you understand it a lot more. And team is a genius at this. Even when he is talking to a Flurf, until it reaches a point in the conversation where the Flurf is just being a dick. Team will try to explain, try to genuinely answer the questions. He is sincere in that. And so if you were to speak to him as someone in our chat, he will take the time and he will explain it, and he will be very patient. He's so patient, it's ridiculous. And that's what I love about watching Team, is because he genuinely tries to educate. It's not about being right, because he already knows he is. And it's not about showboating, because he has the information. And it's like watching Nate. Nate is in the chat. Nate is the same when it comes to listening to legal arguments. He won't try to ram it down your throat. He won't be condescending. He will genuinely try to educate you. It's the same with JL. He has a lot of knowledge. He has a lot of experience. And that's why I love the community that we have, because we have that skill sharing ethic, that it's not about being right or wrong. It's not about being more intelligent, and it's not about being more clever. It's about genuinely helping people to understand complex ideas.
Yeah.
In a simple way. And one of the reasons why we wanted this show to be what it is so that we break down the barriers between us as creators and the people who watch the show. Because you do build it up in your head. And I've done the same thing, where you look at one of the YouTube creators like fucking heroes, in a sense, that kind of hero-esque mask comes over you, and you're intimidated to talk to someone. But as soon as you actually enter into the conversation, all of that is gone, because they're such down-to-earth people. Clive is another one. Clive rips the piss. Clive is a fucking doctor. I love Tony. But Clive makes Tony look like a first-year student.
I've been on Clive's channel before, and it boggles the mind. No, seriously. It's
I'm with you there. Because
it starts off, it's like at the back of a textbook, basically saying, right, we've covered the textbook in a previous video, and now we're going to go on to this more advanced stuff. And by the time you've got 10 minutes in, he's already filled about 15 pages, and you're like, sorry, could you just go back to page 1, please?
What did the first sentence mean? But he does that in the videos because it's for people learning about that in depth. But as soon as you talk to Clive, he is the most down-to-earth person you can ever hope to meet. And I'm honored to have him in my chat. I'm honored to have a doctor worried about my eyebrow. I'm honored to have someone like Clive just being Clive and ripping the piss and having a laugh, because that's what he is. That's who he is. And it's the same with Team. It's the same with JL. I fucking love that. The difference is it's the passion with which people speak. Team speaks with a hell of a lot of passion. JL speaks with a lot of passion. So sometimes that is intimidating. But we're in this community to share the experiences that we have. And that's exciting for me. I love it. I love it. So what I would say is don't be afraid to ask questions because they're valuable. The questions that you've been asking that I've seen, it's valuable. To have you in my chats, to have you in other chats, knowing that it's going to be civil, knowing that it's going to be challenging sometimes. Challenging. I don't mean like a dumpster fire or an argument. You are able to challenge what people believe and what people are saying without it coming off as standoffish.
Yeah, the innocent questions.
Yeah,
innocent question. I have asked Team a question, but he never responded. But I think he views the question as being a troll. So
the issue with Team is he doesn't have the capacity to get back to people sometimes.
yeah.
Hint, hint, Team Skeptic. Check your fucking Discord.
please.
But, yeah. Other than that, like now that he's seen you here, he'll be like, okay, definitely not a troll. But even with the trolls, he does try to actually engage with them. He sometimes has about like 100, 200 people in the chat, and it can get difficult. Like I have we have 44 in the chat, and that's manageable for me. But the other day, I had 150 in the chat, and I couldn't look at the chat. Like it was going so fast. And it's not to say that the people in the chat weren't valued, but it was just there were so many people in the chat that I had to keep focused. And sometimes that's what Team has to do. He just has to keep focused on what he's doing and what he's saying. Otherwise, he'll lose track and get distracted, because he gets distracted worse than a fucking magpie when there's something flashy in front of his eyes.
Oh, shiny.
Yes, something shiny. That's Team.
That sounds well. That's me right now. There's a pigeon right outside the window, and it's sort of tapping on the window. I'll be a second. Hang on a second. Sod off.
There we go, folks. The pigeon wanted to join the stream.
Right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
The pigeon wanted to join the stream. That's what it was.
No, I know. It's that stupid fat pigeon from my next door neighbour. It's the one that keeps hogging all the birdseed.
That raises so many questions.
Why? Why does it raise questions? Well, I don't talk to my neighbours all that much, but they just think I'm a bit weird.
Wait. They have one fat pigeon coming around stealing all the bird seed, and they think you're weird?
Yeah, they think I'm weird. In comparison to a lot of other people around here, there's a guy who lives next door to me, and he looks like Uncle Fester. I kid you not.
Oh,
he literally
God.
looks like him. His eyes are sunken into the back of his head. He's bald, and he's got a massive hunch over him and everything. And he even wears these kind of like big black overalls. So yeah, everyone calls him Uncle Fester. He's creepy as well, because when I'm working in my workshop, I can hear he opens his door and listens in to what I'm doing in the workshop. So I open the door and I'm like, "What are you doing, Fester?" And he's like, "Poof," and closes the door.
Well, here's the thing. I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, brain fart, fuck. Yeah, that's my brain. I need more tea, people. I need more tea. Someone get me some tea. Do you know what? I have tea. Tea is not an issue, but I take sugar in my tea, and I don't have sugar. And I have to go get dressed, and I actually have to go to shop and fucking get sugar.
Oh man.
Yeah. If you don't mind telling people, you can tell them to mind their own fucking business if you want. How old is Avi?
I'm a little older than Irish Demon.
That sums it up. That's fine.
Yep. A little older, like just a tiny amount. But the thing is, with between the two of us, I would look younger. Because I do honestly do. I have a genetic condition, so I sound and look a lot younger than what I am. It's a right pain in the ass.
No.
Have you got ID?
Oh, I get asked for ID all the time. Like I'm in my 30s now, and technically, once you're over 25, technically you don't have to carry ID. But I stopped smoking there a year ago, and it's been tough. It's been fucking tough. And even when I go in to get alcohol, when I used to go in to get cigarettes, it was, have you got ID, please? And I'm like, how fucking young do I look? And it's not, I sound my age. I sound my age. But I don't look my age. I can still get away on the Dublin on buses with a child's fare. If I don't have my glasses on, I can still get away with a child's fare.
Huh.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, foe. What have you done? What is that?
What did he do?
He's put in the comment section, JL Warren is a monster who cannot debate ever about anything. Darth Dawkins was right. What have you done?
Shots
See
fired.
dark clouds coming overhead.
Shots fired.
Everyone, the funeral of Fohammer 335 will happen tomorrow at midday Central Time.
I was going to say it would happen at midnight tonight. Usually, that's when dark rituals are usually carried out, right?
Yeah.
He just appears at the end of Foe's bed with a book in his hand, just like, "Hi, how's it going?"
Do you know what's interesting? I know you were nervous about today, and I'm so happy that you actually came in and talked to us.
Yeah.
You survived. You survived.
Yeah. It's been a great conversation with someone so shy.
In which case, I know we've just made him even more shy. In which case, is there anything else that you want people to know about you? Is there anything else that you would like to say to people, to say to us, to ask us?
I just ask people to be a little bit more patient with me because I've had some good news and some bad news on Friday, which is going to delay the production of the content that I'm working on, which is good and bad.
Well, if people can, if my mods can bring up Avi's link and share it in the chat, go subscribe to Avi, and be patient because I'm sure what you're working on is going to be fucking worth the wait. So Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in. It's not, I know it's not easy because I am scary sometimes. I'm working on it. I promise. Ish.
Tusk is at it again.
Let's face it, I'm not. Yeah, I'm really an 80-year-old man who lives in a bin just outside central London. You're all being pranked. Mwahaha. Hey. My bin is special to me, okay? Don't even. It's one of the old style bins. It's vintage.
Ooh, vintage bin.
It's not one of those dumpsters. It's one of those metal bins. Just don't kick it because then the sound will burst my eardrums. Right. And yes, vote for Binhead. Vote for Binhead. Or whatever the fuck his name is. Right, so people.
That's it.
People, join Avi. Support him. It's going to be awesome. Reason, what's coming up for you?
Well, as you all expect, next Friday, episode 2 of season 1 of the Pain of Progress, as the new channel continues its journey. So be there. I can't wait to see y'all.
Yay! Yes, please be there because it's amazing, and the journey that show is going to go on is just going to be epic. As for me, I don't know what else I'm doing. I have Ion Society coming back next Friday. Check back on this channel because there will be some announcements. I am going to be forming a partnership with someone, just to help them out. So that's going to be announced next week. I can't say any more about that. Avi, do you have your link there? Just so people can subscribe to you?
No, it's all right. I don't actually know if I have a link. No, I don't. Sorry.
You do have a link. Everyone has a link. I'm going to find it now. See, you've gotten me on the case. You don't. You need to do that. And as soon as you actually set up for streaming, or for making content, please do send me the link and I'll chill it out because you absolutely deserve it. But other than that, next Saturday, there's 2 things happening. I can't speak about them. But if you're not subscribed, which all of you should be subscribed, click that bell. It is important. Next week is going to be a big fucking day. So keep an eye out and please, 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 please stay safe. And be awesome to each other. So I will see you guys next week. Say goodbye, people.
Bye. Thanks for coming out, everybody. See you next week.
Farewell.